Hey, what is going on guys? It is Young here, and today I'm back in our Fortnite video, and in today's video I'm going to be going over the best console sensitivity and settings to use in Fortnite, and as well just show you guys what my controller dead zones are. I'm going to be covering every single setting in this video, or pretty much just the settings that are really important that you guys should know about, and talk a little bit about them in this video. And before we get into the video, I have a V-Buck giveaway. If you guys want a chance to win some free V-Bucks, all you need to do is to drop a like on this video, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on my notifications, and as well leave a comment down below of your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account. And as well, make sure you guys have me added and supported as a creator. All you need to do this is go over to the item shop, hit X, go to support a creator, and then type in my code, and my code is Young Humor. And once you type that in, all you have to do is accept it, and you will have me added and supported as a creator. So make sure you guys do that. It really does help me out. And alright guys, let's get right to the video. Alright, so a lot of you guys wanted me to make a updated settings video, and since season 8 finally did come out, I decided why not. I think it's the perfect time to drop another settings video because I did change a little bit of things, and I didn't really make any too crazy changes or any changes that are really major, but I did change quite a bit when it comes to, I would say, my building sensitivity and as well my ADS sensitivity, and I'm going to explain exactly why I made those changes. And as well, I'm going to go into dead zones because that is kind of a new thing that came out, and I think it's really important to talk about if you guys don't really know what dead zones are, or if you guys just want to know what my dead zones are. I'm going to be showing that as well in this video. So the first setting that we have, the first setting that actually just got put into the game, is motion blur, and this is something that you want to have off, and for whatever reason that you have it on, you definitely want to turn it off. And the reason being is with motion blur on, it can just be really hard to see players, and it just isn't clear for gameplay, and it just really isn't the best thing to have, so you definitely want to have that off. Alright, so the next settings that we're going to be getting into is my X and Y sensitivity, and for my controller X sensitivity I am running a 0.65, and for my controller Y sensitivity I'm also running a 0.65, and for me personally I like to have them consistent. A lot of players run a higher X sensitivity than a higher Y sensitivity, but for me I like to keep it consistent. I run the exact same X and Y sensitivity. That's just my personal preference, and I know also a lot of players run a little bit higher. They run like an 8 or so, so really anything between a 6 and 8 sensitivity is going to be ideal, and that's what most really good players or top level players are using, so that's what I would recommend. And so the next sensitivity that we have is the controller targeting sensitivity, and this is a little bit different from my previous video because I did raise it to like a 0.5 or something, and I know a lot of players will have like a 0.4, but I decided I feel like my accuracy was lacking a little bit when it came to ADS. I feel like I wasn't hitting my shots with my AR, so I decided to lower it a little bit, and that's what I would recommend for you guys. Is if you don't feel like your AR accuracy is very good, and shotgun accuracy for me, I could play on pretty much whatever targeting sensitivity for shotgun. But when it comes to my assault rifle shot, if you feel like you're missing a lot of shots, like not even just like missing shots like to bloom, but like you're just really not aiming good at all, you're aiming completely to the left or right, and it's just not hitting your shots at all, then I would recommend trying a little bit lower of a targeting sensitivity, and that might actually help you guys a ton, and because that's exactly what I did, and it helped me out a lot. Next we have controller scope sensitivity, and this is just for sniper rifles, and honestly I don't even snipe pretty much at all. You're never going to see me in a game with a sniper rifle unless it's early game and it's like a heavy sniper and I'm shooting through walls and tilted, but other than that you're never going to catch me ever with a sniper rifle, because if you're going for high kill games you don't even want to have a sniper rifle at all. You just want to have an AR, shotgun, and pump, maybe a rocket launcher if you get it out of a chest, and you just want to be going full send, and having a sniper rifle really isn't going to be the play for that. So I mean, whatever works for you. I honestly don't snipe at all, so I really would know the best setting for this one. And lastly we have controller building sensitivity, and I have that on a 1.45. And I think in my previous video I had it on a little bit lower. I believe it was a 1.3, and I decided to raise it up, and I honestly think I might raise it again, and if I do I'm gonna let you guys know. And just the reason is I just really think that having a higher building sensitivity is extremely important, because if you're playing in a game like squads where you're running up against 4 players 4v1, you need to be able to turn quickly and being able to build behind you, to your left or to your right. I think that's really important. So honestly I really didn't think that a higher building sensitivity was that important, but now that I keep playing, I'm playing in squads and I'm getting shot from multiple different angles. So I'm playing the pop-up cup, I'm getting laser from people left and right. I need to be able to turn very quickly in my builds while at the same time maintaining my accuracy. So I would also recommend trying a little bit higher of a building sense, so anything above like a 1.35 should be pretty good. And if I do change it, which I do plan on changing it at least for a little bit to try it out, I'm gonna be moving up to, I would say, a 1.6 or a 1.65, kind of in that range, just to help out my building a little bit so I can turn a little bit quicker and just prevent myself from getting shot from those different angles. And also one other setting that I have on that I think that's really important, basically from the settings right below the sensitivity, I also have on auto run. I think that's really important, and I've been able to edit a lot faster. My builds have been a lot smoother because of it. I just know some people are having glitches with it for whatever reason, but honestly for me, I've never had an issue with auto run, so that's what I've been using, and it's been very helpful. I feel like I've been able to have been a lot quicker and also just feel a lot swifter when I'm running around, and so I would recommend it if you guys haven't tried it already. And so here are my controller settings. You might just want to pause this video if you guys want to see all my settings. So this is what I have, and for most of you guys who do know, I do use an Elite controller, so that's why you're going to see my edit button as the right on the D-pad. I don't actually hit right on the D-pad, I hit one of the paddles with it. And for those of you guys who want to know, I use my upper right paddle for edit, and I use my upper left paddle for confirm. And then I use my bottom left paddle for jump, and then my bottom right paddle for building. So those are the settings that I use for my Elite controller, so if you guys wanted to know, that's exactly what I use. And one really good setting that I've heard a lot of players who play on claw, so if you play on claw, I would try to recommend you guys playing with the left stick down as your edit button. So I think that's called your L3, so you press the left analog stick down to pull out your edit, and that's been an edit that I've seen a lot of players use, and a lot of players that I've talked to said they really liked it. But for those of you guys who play, regular controller, don't play claw or anything like that, then it could be a little bit tricky. You're going to have to find what works best for you. But for me, for the Elite controller, those are the settings that I use, and I think it works the best. And for my build controls, this is what I'm using. I really think the only change that I have, I could be wrong. So my left stick down, I have that as to place traps. So that's what I use to place traps. And for switching them, I have left on the D-pad. So that's just one of my paddles that I use to change it. And for those of you guys who don't have an Elite controller, I'm not really sure what's going to work best. You definitely just have to try it out. But for me, that's exactly what I'm using for my building controls. And for my edit controls, really the only change here is that my confirm button is left on the D-pad, and I mentioned that earlier, so left on the D-pad is confirm, and for my reset button I have that as the right stick. I'm pretty sure that's default. So these are my controls when it comes to controller settings. So the next thing I want to talk about, I want to go into the dead zones that I'm using. And for my dead zones, on my left stick I have it at a 0.2. I do believe that is default, and then for my right stick I have it as a 0.16. And when it comes to dead zones, basically all that is pretty much just how much you have to move it for it to actually register. So if you're on a very low dead zone, that means you barely have to touch it and it's going to register quickly. But if you're on a higher dead zone, then of course that's going to mean that once you move it, it's not going to register until you move it that much further. So you can kind of see when you're moving the dead zones how far you have to go. So the lower the dead zone, pretty much the more sensitive it's going to be. And this is honestly a pretty good feature, and the reason why I only have my right stick registered at all, I've heard a lot of people who actually, I think they raise their left stick dead zone, and for me personally, I don't really see any reason to raise it. When it comes to the right stick, I play it on a little bit lower, and for the reason being, it's just a lot more sensitive and a lot more easier to control for me. But I can't really go too much lower than a 0.16, just because my controller isn't perfect, so there is a little bit of drift with it, and that's the only issue that you're gonna have when you lower your dead zones. If you lower it too much, they're gonna have a little bit of drift, so you're pretty much gonna be moving without you touching the stick at all, which is super annoying. It happens. So I think 0.16 was the perfect one for me. I think I could play on like a 0.14 or 0.12, but it's all kind of relative to how sensitive your controller actually is. So honestly, for me personally, I would recommend playing on the lowest possible that you can play on, and for me it was only like a 0.16, but a lot of you guys should be able to play on like a 1.13, or maybe even be able to play on a 0.14. You kind of just have to see how it works for you. And for me, those are the dead zones that work best for me, and pretty much I think that's all for the controller settings that I have. And just one quick announcement, if you guys aren't already, make sure you guys follow me on Instagram. I've been posting pretty actively on there. I've been posting every day for the past week. And on my Instagram, for those of you guys who don't follow me, all I'm posting is pretty much the gameplays that you're seeing, and I'm just cutting right to the kills, and as well with some music in the background, so it's pretty cool. So if you guys don't already follow me on Instagram, make sure you guys do so. It's all it is Young Humor. It should pop up. I have just over 100,000 followers on there as well, so it should be pretty easy to find. And with that being said, that's wrap up for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, hope you guys liked it, and if you guys could drop a like on this video, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, turn on my notifications so you're notified for every single new video, and alright guys, I'll see you next video.